Now let's solve this question. No solution. So this equation has no solution answer. Let's do it together so we can understand how we can get no solution. So first step, write the augmented matrix. So augmented matrix is -5, -2, 1, and 2, 4, -1, -6, 2, -3, -1, then 1, then also 1. Okay. Now, before we going to start doing this, I get you some small picture which is easier to everyone to understand it. So let's go here. Now, these are the steps that will help me to solve any matrix. So first step, it's get 1 in upper left hand corner. So this one here, we are going to make it 1. Then after we make this value, we need to make this value equal 0 by solving row 1 with row 2. And I need to make this value is equal 0 by solving row 1 with row 3. So this is the first step that I have to make, is to make this value equal 1, then this 2 value equal to 0. Now, let's go there. How we can make -5 equal to 1? By dividing, of course, by what? By dividing by 5. So now let's divide everything by 5. If I divide everything by 5, I will get this new matrix, which is -1, then -2 over 5, then 1 over 5, then 2 over 5. And this matrix, we are going to have a lot of fraction, big fraction, but don't scare from the fraction, it's just a normal thing. Okay, so just deal with the fraction just like a normal whole number. Okay, now after we finish, as you can see, the first value is still -1, so it's not +1. So if I need to make it +1, I need also to divide by not only 5, to divide by -5 for everything. So if I divide everything, okay, if I divide by -5, divide by -5, divide by -5, divide by -5, okay, not only 5. So now this value, -5 divided by -5 is equal 1. Then -2 over -5, it will become +2 over 5. Then here it will become -1 over 5. And here -2 over 5. So this is the new matrix after I made the first value. Okay, value 1 up, get a 1 in the upper left. Okay, now I need to make this two values. Okay, this one here equals 0 and this one here is equal to 0. So now, as I told you, here we're going to solve row 1 with row 2. And here we're going to solve row 1 with row 3. Okay? So, now, to solve row 1 with row 2, okay, as I told you before, this is number 4, this is number 1. So, what I have to multiply row 1 with, I need to multiply row 1 with 4. Then minus it from row 2. Okay? Now, for the other one, just let's do it from the first step. Here is -3, here it's 1. So what I have to do, so I have to multiply row 1 by 3, then add it with I have to multiply row 1 with 3 and add it to the row 3. Now, so let's do it here together. So let's go down. So this one will be my new matrix. Let me write the rule here. Okay, so row 1 stays same, 2 over 5, -1 over 5, okay, 2 over 5. Now, I'm going to solve row 2 and row 3 together in one step, okay? Better than doing in the third step. First, now let's start with the row 2. So now, row 2, the rule, as we said, this one is the rule. Now, let's write the rule here inside. 4 times row 1 minus row 2. Now, let's start. 4 times row 1 is 1 minus row 2 is 4. So the answer is equal 0. So 0. Now we finish from this. Now 4 times row 1 it's 2 over 5 minus 1. So the answer will be 13 over 5. Then 4 times, we finish from this. Now 4 times row 1 -1 over 5 minus row 2 -6. Okay, so the answer will be 26 over 5. Okay, we finish now from this and this. Now let's go to the last. 4 times -2 over 5 minus plus 2. Sorry, minus 2. So the answer will be negative 18 over 5. Now after I get the answer, let's write them down. So 13 over 5, then 26 over 5, then negative 18 over 5. Now finish from row 2. Now let's do row 3. Okay? So let's do row 3. So as I know that row 3 has this rule here. Okay? So the rule says 3 row 1 plus row 3. Now with 3, let's now erase these. خلاص. Okay, so we're going to use row 1 again. Okay? Now, let's use. Row 1 is 1. Okay? And row 3 is negative 3. So 1 plus negative 3. So the answer is equal 0. So here is 0. So finish. Finish from this. Now 3 times row 1, which is 2 over 5. Okay? Plus row 3, which is negative 1. Okay? So the answer will be 1 over 5. So the answer here is 1 over 5. Then let's continue. 3, we finish from this. Now 3 times row 1, negative 1 over 5, plus row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer is 13, negative 13 over 5. So negative 13 over 5. Then let's continue, finish from this. Now 3 times row 1, negative 2 over 5, okay, plus row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer is negative 1 over 5. So we write here negative 1 over 5. Now, after we finish from row 1 and row 2 and row 3, we make this value, which is we finish as I told you, which is we made this one 1 and we made this one 0 and we made this one 0. So 1 0 0. Look here, 1 0 0. Okay, 1 0 0. Now the next step is to make this value equal 1, which is get 1 in the second row, second column position. Then after that we need to make this value equal 0. So to make this value equal 1, I need to divide or multiply row 2 by anything. Divide by number or row 2 multiply with anything. And if I need to make this value equal 0, I need to solve row 2 with row 3. Okay? So now I need to make 1. I need to make this value equal 0. This one by dividing or multiplying. This one is by solving row 2 with row 3. Okay. Now let's go here down. So the new matrix will be, okay, this is the new matrix. Now row 1 stays same, 1, 2 over 5, negative 1 over 5, 2 over 5. Okay, now I need, as I told you, I need to make this value equal to 1. So I need to multiply by the inverse. So for example, if I tell you this 2 over 5 times 5 over 2, the reciprocal. So what's the answer? Will be 10 over 10, which is equal 1. So I can just multiply the fraction by the reciprocal, just a flip. Okay, so now to make this value 13 over 5 is to equal 1, is to multiply row 2 by what? Row 2 5 times 13. Okay, so now let's multiply row 2 5 times 13. Okay, row 2. Now 5 times 13, 13 times 5. So the answer is equal, here is 0, here it should be 1. Then we finish from this. Now let's do this. 5 over 13 times 26 over 5. Okay, so the answer is 338 over 25. Then so this is 338 over 25. Then after that it's 5 over 13 times row 2, which is equal 18 over 5. So the answer is 18 over 30. Okay, so the answer here is 18 over 30. Now after I finished from converting row to this value to equal 1, okay, as you can see here, now I need to make this value equal 0. And to make this value equal 0, as I told you, I need to solve row 2 with row 3. Now As you can see here, row 2 is 1 over 5. Sorry, row 3 1 over 5. Row 2 is, okay, sorry here. Now, as you can see, row 2, let me write row 3, 1 over 5, negative 13 over 5, negative 1 over 5. Now, to make this value equal 0, as you can see, row 2 is equal 1. So I need to multiply row 1 with row 2 with what? With 1 over 5. Then we minus them. So row 2 multiplied with 1 over 5, then minus by row 3. Okay? So now, 1 over 5, row 2 is 1, minus row 3, 1 over 5. So the answer is equal 0. Now let's write the new matrix here. Okay, let's write it down. So 1, 2 over 5, negative 1 over 5, 2 over 5, okay, then 0, 1, 3, 3, 8 over 25, then 18 over 13. Now, then this one is 0. Now the first value become 0. Okay, let's write it in the red color. Okay, so the first value is 0. Now the second value we get it, which is equal 0. Now, okay, so we finish now from this and this. Now 1 over 5 times row 2. Row 2 is a 3, 3, 8 over 25. Okay, minus row 3, so minus 13 over 5. So the answer will be 6, 6, 5 over 125. Okay, so the answer is equal 6, 6, 5 over 125. So we cancel, we finish from this. Then after that, 1 over 5 times row 2, which is 18 over 13. Then minus 1 over 5. So the answer will be 31 over 65. Okay, so 30, oh sorry, I should write it here too. 31 over 65. Now as you can see, I made this value equal 1, 0, 0. I made this one is 1 and this one is 0. Now my goal is to make this value here equal to 1. Okay, and to make this value equal to 1, I need to multiply row 3 by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is 125 over 665. Okay, so now let's do it here. Let's write it down. Okay, so 1, 1, 2 over 5, negative 1 over 5, 2 over 5, 0, 1, 3, 3, 8, 25. Then 18 over 13. Then we have 0, 0, 1, then 125, 665 times row 3, which is equal 31 over 60 over 6, sorry, here, over 65. Okay, so the answer will be 1551729. So the answer 1551729. Okay, so now if you look to the answer and to the number and the fraction, okay, as you can see, this one is 1, this one is 1, this one is 1, and all of the diagonal are 1. Okay, and these three values are zeros. Okay, but as you can see, this value is not 0. Okay, to make it no solution, because if you go back here, the no solution should have 0, 0, 0, then 1. So that's mean there is no solution here. But if we look back to the question has a solution. How the question has no solution? Okay, now this type of a question is difficult to be solved if we are just follow the same way that I teach you before. Now, this type of question can be solved using, let's say, different way, or not different way, but in different type of steps. For example, when I start solving the matrix, when the first step I did here, the first step I did is to divide the whole row 1 by negative 5 to make this value equal 1, as I did here, right? Down here, okay? But As you can see, the whole row in matrix, okay, become as a fraction. And I don't need that to be happen. I don't need the row when I divide it by a number, okay, to make the whole matrix as a fraction. I know that I told you matrix to have a fraction, that's fine, completely fine. But when you have the fraction as the answer, for example, z is equal 1 over 6, x equal 3 over 5, or whatever. But when you have a row completely row with as a fraction, this is could be a mistake. Don't just follow the way that we did before. So what is exactly are going to do in this situation? We are going to choose the different path. Okay, for example, now if you check here, we know that the row echelon form is 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now what I have to do, these diagonals number must be equal to 1. Okay, but if I tried from the first step to make this value equal 1 in this equation, I will have a fraction, and I say I don't need a fraction. So from the first step, don't think to make this value equal 1. So think differently, which means how can I make this value equal to 1 without dividing or multiplying the whole row with a number to make it 1? So for example, can I make, for example, look to the y, okay? So let me erase this one for just 1 second to make it clear to you, okay? Now, look to the row 1. Now, if you check here, it's negative 5, here it's 4. And if you check here, it's negative 2, here is negative 1. Now, if you know that we need to make this value equal 0, okay, by solving row 1 with row what? With row 3, okay? So as you can see, in row 1 is negative 2, in row 3 is equal negative 1. So I don't have to multiply with a fraction or any different number to solve this equation. Okay, now let me make it clear to you. Let me take the question on side to solve it in front of you. Let me erase this. Okay, let me take the augmented matrix with me. Let me take it. Okay, so let's click here and copy. Okay, let's go down here on this area. Okay, let's make big white one. Okay, so we can write the augmented matrix here. Let's put the matrix that we get best. Okay, good. Okay, after I get the matrix, now let's start solve it. Now I need to make this value equal 0, okay, by solving row 1 with row 3. Okay, row 1 with row 3. Now to solve this value and to make it 0, okay, so I need to multiply row 3 by 2 to make it, then we add it to the first column. So 2 with row 3, so this value become negative 2 negative, so we just minus them, then we get the answer. So now let's start. So the new matrix will be, okay, I need now, as I told you, I need to make this value equal 0. So this is in row 1, so we keep row 2 and row 3 same thing, no different, we don't change them. Okay, now so row 1 is negative 5, okay, minus 2, row 3 is negative 1, so the answer is equal negative 5 plus 3. Sorry, not negative 1, sorry. So this one, let's forget this is 3, okay. So row 1 is in negative 5 minus 2 times row 3 is negative 3. So as you can see, the answer here is become negative 5 plus 6 is equal 1. Okay, so do you see now first value it become what? Become 1 by solving the second row. Okay, by solving the second column in the first row. Then let's continue. Then we finish from this. Okay, now negative 2 minus 2 times row 3, which is negative 1. So the answer here, negative 2 plus 2 is equal 0. So this value here, it become what? Become 0. Then next, we finish from this. Then we have row 1 is 1 minus 2 times row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer is equal 1 minus 2 is equal negative 1. So the answer here is negative 1. Then after that, we finish this. Now, row 1 it's 2 minus 2 times row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer here is equal to 0. So this answer here is 0. Okay, let me write in the red color. So now we solved the first row. Okay, we made, look here, we made this value here equal to 1 by solving row 1 with row 3. Okay, by making this value equal to 0. Okay, again, focus with me. Now we know that row echelon form is 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. Sometimes I don't have to multiply by the first value for all matrix, okay, for the whole row, okay, because I can get a fraction. So instead of doing or dividing or multiplying only the value or the row by the first value, now I can make this value equal 0, okay, by solving row 1 with row 3, okay, according to this value. I need to make this value equal 0. So this value here was negative 2, the value here was negative 1. So I multiplied the whole row 3, okay, to make this value equal to this one. I multiplied the whole row 3 by 2, so now it's become this one negative 2, this one it become negative 2. Then I minus them to make it positive, so I get the value equal to 0. Okay, and look to the first value. Okay, when I solve the first one here, it become 1. So now the whole first row becomes in the form of row echelon form without having any fraction in the first row. Okay, I hope you understand or you get the idea. Now let's continue the same step that I told you. The same step that we did after we made this value equal 1. Now we need to make this value equal 0 to make this value equal 0. So to make this value equal 0, I need to solve row 1 with row 2, just normally. And to make this value equal 0, I need to solve row 1 with row 3. Okay? Oh, sorry, this is a mistake. Here it's not negative 5, here it's 4. Sorry, I just wrote the new column again. Okay, so this is 4. So 4, negative 1, negative 6, 2. Okay, so this is row 2. Now I need now to solve row 1 with row 2. Okay, so row 1 with row 2 to make this value equal 0. So I need to multiply row 1 with 4, then minus with row 2. Okay, and for row 3 also, for row 3 I can just row 1 and row 3, okay, to make this value equal 0. So I need to multiply row 1 with 3, then plus with row 3. Then I can make the value. So now the new matrix will be, okay, like this: 1 0 negative 1 0. Now let's do it. So row 2, okay, will follow this formula here, okay, that I just wrote it for it. So now 4 times row 1 is equal 1 minus row 2, which is equal 4. So the answer is 0. So we write 0. Then 4 times, we finish from this. So 4 times row 1 0 minus row 2, which is equal negative 1, so positive 1. So the answer is 1. So we write 1. Okay. Then after that we finish this. Now 4 times row 1. Row 1 is equal negative 1 minus 6. So the answer 4. So negative 4 plus 6 is equal 2. So the answer is equal 2. Then let's continue. 4 times row 1, which is equal 0. We finish from this. Okay. 0 minus row 2 is equal 2. So the answer is equal negative 2. So the answer is negative 2. Now let's find row 3 by using this rule. So 3 times row 1, which is equal 1, plus, okay, let me erase this. Okay, we finish from row 2. Now let's start with row 3. Okay, so 3 times 1 plus row 3, which is negative 3. So the answer is equal 0. So this is 0. Then 3 times row 1, which is 0. Okay, plus row 3, which is equal negative 1. So we write negative 1. So the answer is equal negative 1. So here is negative 1. Now let's continue. 3 times row 1, which is negative 1. Okay, plus row 3, which is equal 1. So 1 here. So negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Here, negative 2. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay, it's complete. Negative 2. Then 3 times row 1, which is 0. Okay, plus row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer is equal 1. Finish. Now, the second step is this value is 1, this is 0, this is 0. Now this value is already 1, so I need to make this value equal to 0. So to make this one equal to 0, I need to solve row 2 with row 3. Okay, so as you can see, row 1 and row 2, row 2 and row 3, they have the same value, 1 and 1, and it's already negative, so we just add them. Okay, so the new matrix will be, so let's keep row at the first row. Let's keep the second row. Now the third row, let's do it. So row 2 is equal 1 plus minus row 3, which is equal 0. Okay, so the first value is 0. Done. Then row 2 is equal to plus minus 2 is equal 0. So also this one 0. Then row 2 is equal negative 2 plus row 3, which is equal 1. So the answer is equal negative 1. So negative 1. Okay, now look to the matrix. So is this matrix in row echelon form? No, it's not row echelon form, because we know this is x, this is y, this is z, then this one here is the number. So 0 is x plus 0 is y plus 0 is z is equal negative 1. So all of these values are equal 0. 0 is not equal to 1. So this one is no solution. Okay, so these steps are repeated from the previous. We didn't do anything new. The only thing new is this step here, the first step. As I told you, okay, when we do this step, when you are dividing the first row by negative 5, if you divide the first row by negative 5 and you get all the row as a fraction, so don't divide, just stop dividing, don't think like that. Now what you must do, you need to make this value here, okay, sorry, you need to make this value here equal to 0. Okay, to make this value equal to 0, you need to solve row 1 with row 3. Okay, so we need to solve row 1 with row 3. Row 1 is negative 2, row 3 is negative 1. So you need to make them equal. So this is negative 2, this is negative 1. So we need to multiply row 3 by what? By 2. So now negative 2, negative 2. Then we minus them to get this value equal to 0. Then you just apply the rule for the whole row. Then you will get the new matrix, which is written here. Okay, so don't forget. Then after that, just complete the steps as you can see, because now this value becomes 1. So now continue this and this and the same way that we did in the previous. Okay, I hope you understand the question. This is the whole question. This is the whole step that we did. Now let's go to the last example here, which is the infinite solution. Now for the infinite solution, we are going to do or to apply the same idea. First, let's write the augmented matrix. Okay, maybe the idea will become more clear here in this example because it's similar. 3, 5, negative 8, negative 3, 2, 5, negative 2, negative 7, then negative 1, plus 4, then negative 1. Okay, so this is the matrix. Now, as I told you, we need to follow the same step that I did here. We need to make this value equal 1, then value this one 0, this one is equal 0. How to make this value equal 1 is to divide by the row by its number. So, as you can see, here, if I divide the first row by 3 by 3 by 3, what I will get? I will get a fraction. So don't go or choose this path because they will get a wrong answer. Okay, so let's erase all this. Now what I have to do, as I told you, I need to make this value equal to 0. Okay, is to make this value equal to 0, I need to solve row 1 with row 3. Okay, so now row 1 with row 3. As you can see here, row 1 and row 3. In row 1, the value is 5. In row 3, the value is negative 1. So I need to make 1 equal to 5. So I have to multiply 1 with what? With 5. Okay, so I have to multiply now row 3 with 5. Okay, then we add it with row 1, then we will get the value equals 0. Now let's apply the rule. Now let's start from the first value. So row 1 is a 3 plus 5 times row 3, which is equal negative 1. Okay, so we cancel, so we don't make the mistake. So 3 plus negative 5 is equal negative 3 plus negative 5 is equal negative 2. Okay, then row 1 is 5 plus 5 times negative 1, so the answer is equal 0. Then negative 8 plus 5, so finish this, then negative 8 plus 5 row 3, which is equal 4. Okay, so negative 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 20 minus 8, okay, is equal to 12. Okay, so we finish from this. Then the last one, negative 3 plus 5 row 3 is negative 1. Okay, negative 3 plus negative 5 is negative 8. Okay, now let's write the new matrix. Okay, now the new matrix, I told you I need to make which value equals 0. I need to make this value equals 0. So I'm solving now for row what? For row 1. So let's keep row 2, same thing. 5, negative 2, negative 7, negative 1, negative 1, 4, and negative 1. Okay, so now let's do it together. So negative 2, 0, 12, negative 8. Now check this out. As you can see, this value is still equal negative 2. It's not 1. But as I told you, I can divide the whole row 1 by the same number. So if I divide the whole row 1 by negative 2, let's do it and see what we will get. So the row 1, so it will be, if we divide row 1 by negative 2, so it will be, let's write the new matrix. Okay, so the new matrix after I divide, so this one will become 1, this is become 0. 12 divide negative 2 equal what? 12 divide negative 2 is equal negative 6, right? Then negative 8 divided by 2 is equal what? Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is equal 4. So we keep now the new matrix. Negative 2, negative 7, and negative 1, negative 1, 4, negative 1. Okay? Now check this out. Did we make the first value equal to 1? Yes. Did we just avoid any fraction in my question? Yes. Now, do you think is this step that I did is correct? Okay, maybe you said, I don't know. Okay, we will see. Let's continue and check if we get this answer correct or wrong. Okay, now let's continue. After we finish now, I need to continue. I need to make this value equal to 0, and I need to make this value equal to 0. Okay, let me do it in different class, you understand. So this one, should I solve row 1 with row 2? Okay, in this value here, I should solve row 1 with row 3. Okay, so now let's write the rule. So row 1 with row 2. Row 1 is 1, row 2 is 2, so I need to multiply row 1 by 2, then minus by row 2. Okay, row 3, here it's 1, negative 1, here it's 1, so I just minus them. So row 1 minus row, so or add, plus row 3. Okay, now let's write the new matrix. Okay, so the new matrix, we keep the first row 1, 0, negative 6, and 4. Now let's know what is exactly for the values for row 2. 2 times row 1, 1, minus row 2 is equal to, so the answer is equal 0. So I finish from this 2. So the answer is 0. Then 2 times row 1 is 0, minus row 2, which is 5. So the answer is equal negative 5. So here is negative 5. So we cancel this 2. Then 2 times negative 6 minus row 2, which is equal negative 2. So the answer is negative 12 plus 2 is equal negative 10. Okay, negative 12 plus 2, okay, is equal 10, negative 10. Then finish from this. 2 times row 1 is 4 minus negative 7. So 2 times 4 is equal 8. 8 plus 7 is equal 50. So we finish now from row 2. Now let's do row 3. So row 3 is, let's erase this. Okay. Row 1 is 1 plus row 3 is negative 1. So the answer is equal 0. So this one is 0. We finish from this. Then row 1 is 0 plus row 3 is equal what? Row 3 is equal negative 1. So the answer is equal negative 1. So negative 1. We cancel this too. Then negative 6 plus 4. So the answer is negative 2. So here is negative 2. Finish this. Then 4 plus minus 1, which is equal 3. So this one is a 3. So we finish from this too. Then now after I finish from made this one is equal 1, this is 0, this is 0. Now my goal is to make this one is equal 1 and this one is equal to 0. So now as you can see, I can divide row 2 by what? Row 2 I can be divided by negative 5. So let's divide row 2 by negative 5 and see what we will get. So row 1 stays same, negative 6 and 4. Then 0 divided by negative 5 is equal 1. Divide by negative 5 is equal 2. Then 15 divided by negative 5 is equal negative 3. Okay. Then the last column stays same thing. Okay, this one is a 3. Now let's make this value equal to 0. So I need to solve row 2 with row 3. As you can see, we just add them. Okay, so the new matrix will be, let's write the new matrix. Row 1 stays same, 0, negative 6 and 4. So row 2 is 1 plus row 3 is negative 1. So the answer is 0. So this is 0, this is 0. Finish this. Then row 2 is 2 plus negative 2, also still what? 0. So we cancel this. Row 2 negative 3 plus 3, also 0. So still 0. So as you can see, all the values become 0. And as I told you before, if I have all the value here down is equal to 0, so that's mean, okay, 0x plus 0y plus 0z equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. When I have 0 is equal to 0, so that's mean this one is infinite solution. Okay, so I give you now an example about the infinite solution, and I give you an example about the no solution and one solution, and I think this one is enough to understand the matrix. Okay, I hope you understand the question. Now let's go here. It's your turn now to try to solve these 3 questions. Okay, so as you can see, all this equation has one solution. Okay, try to solve it. Okay, just to tell you about the infinite or no solution, as I told you before. First step, let me repeat it. If you can't divide by the first term, which is you will get a fraction, okay, so don't divide. What you have to do, you have to make this value equal to 0. Which value that I mean? This one here is to make this value equal to 0. How to make this value to equal 0? This one is row 1. So you need to solve row 1 with row 3 with this value here, with row 3. So solve row 1 with row 3. This is 5, this is negative 1. So I have to multiply row 3 by what? I have to multiply row 3 by 5. So make this value equal negative 5. Then we add it to the row 1. So we did make this one equal 0. Don't forget, you need to divide by the same number if you still didn't get 1. Okay, so this is what I did here. Row 1, divide by negative 2, then I get the answer here. Then you just complete the same step. Row 1 with row 2, row 1 with row 3, then row 2 with row 3, then you get the final answer. So this is how you can solve the question. Okay, now it's your turn. Try to do this, and to get more power, solve this equation. Have a good day. See you. Bye-bye.